What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another riveting episode here on the Avion Awesome channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Terra Ceia RV Resort. It is an Encore resort, and it's conveniently located just a few short miles away from St. Petersburg, Florida. The RV resort is right next to Palmetto and Bradenton, Florida. Also, small little towns, but have lots of convenient shopping, lots of convenient grocery stores, gas stations, smaller attractions like Apollo Beach and Emerson Point there on Sneed Island. You can find lots of different stuff. There's also a Dollar General store that's right next door to the RV park, so that if you need any last minute smaller items, you can easily find those things quick, fast, and in a hurry. But if you need anything larger or a little bit more specific, all you have to do is drop straight down into Palmetto. You're going to find Walmarts and Targets and shopping centers and larger grocery stores like Aldi's. You're going to find everything you need inside these smaller towns. And just a few short minutes, in just about any direction, you're going to find several different beaches, several different islands. You're also very, very close to Holmes Beach. You're also really close to the Anna Maria beaches. It is a fantastic place to set up shop. So let's take a look at how it's going to be when you arrive at Terra Ceia RV Resort. In my experience, I believe that this was probably a converted 55-plus community at one point. You have a lot of permanent style residence, non-movable units all over this particular park. There are several spaces, maybe 50 to 40% of transient spots that are available. As with most of these Encore resorts, only about 10% of the total capacity is going to be reserved for Thousand Trails members. So here is a look at what most of the RV park sites are going to look like, how much space you can expect in between yourself and your neighbor. And while the entire first half of the park is a more maturely shaded area, there is a few spots, a few sections toward the back that are nice, wide open, very few trees. So if that is sort of the thing that you're looking for, you want less acorns falling on the top of your rig, you can easily find a decent spot. But like I indicated earlier, there are lots of permanent residents peppered throughout, so most of this park, probably over half, do look like they have been there for quite some time, perhaps years and years and years. Lots of lawn ornaments, lots of decks, lots of permanent fixtures all throughout, and then out of nowhere you'll find lots of transient rigs kind of, haphazardly scattered in and throughout the entire place. Overall, the park is a very nice, quaint little park, very well maintained for the most part. There were a few areas that I thought probably could have been improved. Better grounds maintenance would have been nice in some areas, but there was a lot of Spanish-covered moss that had fallen off the trees due to an extremely heavy rain when I visited, so that's not necessarily their fault, but at the same time, the maintenance probably could have been a little bit better. So, as you can see, some of these sites have completely paved driveways, others just have simple rock or gravel driveways, and other sites had absolutely no pavement, no gravel whatsoever. So it would appear to me that some, if not all, of these sites have been improved by the residents as they pick their spot. Maybe they want to lay down gravel or rock of their own volition, but as far as what the actual park provides, it's just a grass pad. Moving on to the rec center and the pool area, you're going to find a nice little mail pickup and drop-off area, which I found really convenient so that you didn't always have to depend on the office to grab and sort your mail for you. So the rec center itself, while a bit on the smaller side, it was completely usable, completely functional, not exactly the biggest, not exactly the most fancy-smancy, but it had lots of accommodations, full-size refrigerator and freezer and stuff in the back so that you could host parties, get-togethers, whatever. And for those of you that like to play bingo, they hosted one every Tuesday night starting at 6 p.m. This place was the absolute heart of the entire operation. There were always something going on in this area, whether it be a dinner, a get-together, a potluck. And the covered porch area was fairly nice. You also had one pool table on the inside. They did happen to have a pool tournament there, I think once per week. So the bathrooms and the laundry facilities are located here, while not very up to date, completely usable and functional. And for the 2 weeks that I was there, they were always well maintained and always clean. The laundry facilities were located directly next door, and while not huge or expansive, at least you didn't have to buy any proprietary cards to load up, and you could easily use your own debit card to pick whichever machine you wanted to use. I enjoyed several days out at the pool. The decking material is that new plastic composite style wood. The pool was always heated, so I always found a few of those younger ladies doing their morning aerobics there, even in the chillier weather. And directly behind the swimming pool and rec center area, you're going to find 4 different shuffleboard courts, so if that is something that you're into, you'll have plenty of access. On the backside of the park, right next to the shuffleboard courts, you're going to find a really nice little dog run. It goes from one end of the pond to the other. You're able to allow your pet to be off leash, as far as I can tell. There were plenty of other dog owners that were running their pets up and down. Very nice, very convenient, very serene little area. One thing to note is that there was a railroad track directly to the right of this area. I would say that there would be a train that does in fact blow its horn at least once or twice per day. Now, it certainly wasn't a deal breaker for me, but I kind of feel like I was far enough away that it wasn't going to bother me at all, so it's just something to be aware of. But overall, I really did enjoy the dog run area. It was probably my favorite place in the park to spend the majority of my time while outdoors with my dog. Speaking of my dog, this is probably the low point of the entire park, which was the dog run. It was 100% sandy for the most part, kind of muddy, not necessarily all that nice in general. I kind of feel like they tried, but it wasn't a very stout effort, in my opinion. It was kind of tucked back behind the dumpsters and the service shack, just not a very nice or pleasing area to be in. While I would say that this area was adequate enough for a dog to do his business, most of the accommodations were pretty rudimentary, and the lawn equipment was pretty stained with mossy and green stuff. I don't know what that stuff was, but it was good enough for your dog to go use the restroom. It just wasn't a very nice place to spend my time in. Overall, I found Terra Ceia RV Resort to be a very quiet, quaint little community of very friendly residents. I had absolutely no issues with any of the residents there. I think that I was a little bit upset when I first got there because my site had no gravel or concrete pad. While it did have a picnic table, I ended up parking there while it had just got done raining, so I was in roughly about 3 inches of water and dug myself into a nice little divot. But overall, I would definitely stay here at Terra Ceia RV Resort again. And because of all the convenience of the location to St. Petersburg, Apollo Beach, Sneed Island, and Anna Maria, I'm going to give Terra Ceia RV Resort a solid 7 out of 10 rivets. At any rate, thanks so much for watching yet another riveting episode here on the Avion Awesome channel. I'm your host, Mark Puckett, and I'm going to see you guys again on the next one.